Well, the New York Times now pursuing Hunter Biden's emails, filing a lawsuit against the U.S. State Department in efforts to obtain emails between Hunter Biden and Romanian embassy officials.
Now, the lawsuit comes after the State Department failed to hand over the requested documents through a Freedom of Information Act in a timely manner. For more on this, let's bring in host of Stinchfield here on Newsmax, Grant Stinchfield. So, Grant, why does the New York Times suddenly care about this story, do you think?
Because they know Joe Biden can't win in 2024 and the Democrats are in big trouble. They don't care about Hunter Biden. I've said this for a while now, that the plot that I thought would play out is now coming to fruition. We're seeing the media start to turn on Joe Biden. They're not concerned about Hunter Biden. They're not concerned about any ties to China. The media probably has ties to China themselves. What they're concerned about, though, is moving towards 2024 and having a candidate that can win this race. And so here we go. They're opening up the box, and let's see what comes out of it.
Well, that's interesting you say that, Grant, because if that's the case, you think they're rooting for someone in particular? I mean, somebody that wears a lot of pantsuits or what?
Well, you know, if Hillary Clinton runs again, which there are indications that she would be, I mean, that's going to be battle royale between President Trump, who after the rally Saturday night, I'm convinced is totally running again in 2024. I'm not sure the media has figured out who they want in place of Joe Biden, but I do know that they see him as a very weak candidate, that there's no chance of him winning. I mean, you just look at his approval ratings, his poll numbers, they're in the tank. He has epic failure after epic failure. I call it a revolving door of failures. You know, the door spins and outspits another failure. And it's nonstop. And so if they want any chance of keeping the White House come 2024, there's no way they're going to be able to run Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because apparently the original time they were given in order to receive these documents was 2023, I think April of 2023, so they would get them prior to 2024. But you think it's in an effort to get a new Democratic candidate and harm Biden because they don't think that he can win? Is that the direction you think they're going?
I've been saying this, Heather, and I know it may sound hard to believe, but I really do believe there is a cancel Joe Biden quest underway by the left to start to go after him, to make it to the point where he just is not a viable candidate. This is part of that. Now, on the heels of that, I'm all for the New York Times getting these emails. I'm all for, let's see what these emails are, because anybody else but Joe Biden would be investigated and possibly impeached for his ties to China. I had Peter Schweitzer on the program, the author of the book Red Handed. He made it clear to me that the Biden family, were making these deals with China, the highest levels of intelligence, all the way into Joe Biden's presidency. So according to Peter Schweitzer, into Joe Biden's presidency, I think what he said was Hunter Biden took a $20 million check related to some of these deals. Now, if this was President Trump or Don Jr., we know he'd be impeached. So that's not happening yet. But this could be all part of a plot and a plan to get Joe Biden out and somebody else in.
Yeah, and the short version, I guess, is that did Hunter sell access to the White House, to Joe Biden? Was Hunter getting money? Was Joe Biden getting money? Were policies being changed because of those connections? All of the above, even though in the past they've kind of said, the New York Times has said a lot of these claims were unsubstantiated, yet now they're the very ones going after it.
So those are the short questions. If I was going to answer on my own hunch and my research, I would say the short answer is simply yes to all of those questions. But look, we need investigative agencies. We need law enforcement to look into this. Law enforcement's gone. They'll make up things about President Trump. They'll concoct a Russian collusion dossier to get that man impeached. But when you have legitimate evidence about Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the brother, evidence that could take you in a direction where law enforcement should follow, and they ignore that evidence, look, you got a real problem in America. That's a weaponized Justice Department that will ignore one party and persecute another. And sadly, I think that's where we are today in America.
These pictures are so...
Well, I mean, that alone, just looking at those pictures, that alone opens up the Biden family, the President of the United States, to blackmail. all over the place. Those pictures alone.
I didn't see the pictures. I'm only assuming that the pictures were of Hunter Biden smoking crack.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And that, according to Joe Biden,
and the irony,
according to Joe
of course,
Biden, that's the smartest man in America. Look at
yeah,
it. There you
exactly.
go. Joe Biden's son, the smartest man in America. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Great.
and of course, these are the pictures we can show.
Yeah.
There are pictures we
Yeah.
can't show that came from the laptop as well. So
What's really frightening about all of this is that's just Hunter Biden. We know for a fact that China has had their mitts into American politics, and they use really money to do it, but they'll go so far as getting pictures like this. Who knows if they have other pictures they could use to blackmail Joe Biden and Hunter Biden?
Yeah.
Who knows? It certainly is possible, but we
Did they
do
ever
know that
find
China
that,
uses money
yeah.
to control.
Did they ever find that diary that they were looking for? That the FBI was looking
there's
for?
a lot going on. There's people suing
The
you
diary.
for not having
Yeah,
access. Real
that
quick,
diary
Grant,
is
go ahead.
out there. You know, parts of it has been published. Parts of that diary have been published. You know, Hunter's sister, she left the diary in a hotel room. What is it with the Bidens? They leave their private stuff all over the place for people to find. It's crazy.
Like Gideon's
problem.
Bibles, they're leaving them all out there.
All right, Grant. Thank you so much. We'll definitely be watching tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.